Archangel Michael says, tonight at 11:11 p.m., you will receive a huge financial blessing. Your angel is asking you not to go anywhere without reading this. Open this now before it's too late, because God's hand is moving in your life and your heart needs to hear what heaven is preparing for you. Type 666 if you believe. There are quiet moments in life when we sit in the stillness of night and feel something stirring deep within our spirit. It may not be loud. It may not even be fully understood. But it is there, a whisper from heaven that something is changing, that something is coming. It feels like hope. It feels like warmth wrapping around your soul when the world feels cold. It is the voice of the Lord gently reminding you that He has not forgotten about you, not even for a second. When your eyes are heavy with worry and your heart is worn from carrying burdens too long, God leans in with His light. He doesn't push or shout or demand your strength. Instead, He offers His own. He sees you, not just where you are but where you're going. And tonight, He wants you to know, a blessing is on its way. Not just a small one, but something that will make your spirit overflow with grateful tears. You have waited, you have prayed, and you have trusted when it didn't make sense. And now, heaven is moving. God is never late, never rushed, and never unsure. He knows exactly what you need, when you need it. Sometimes, He allows delays not to punish you but to prepare you. Every "not yet" was never a no, but a deeper "trust me." And your trust is about to bloom into something beautiful. The walls you've been staring at are about to become doors. The heaviness you've carried is about to become a testimony of freedom. The closed chapters you mourned will be the very stories others look to for hope. Type 1111 if you trust in God. You've faced days when it felt like everything was slipping away, and yet here you are, still holding on. That strength didn't come from the world. It came from God living inside of you. It came from His promise never to leave you, no matter how long the storm lasted. His love didn't dim just because your light was flickering. In fact, He covered you with His own light when yours was running low. Some blessings come wrapped in patience, shaped by waiting, and delivered through faith. The financial breakthrough you've cried for is already being formed by hands that never fail. Your angel has heard every prayer and seen every silent moment when you almost gave up. But you didn't. You stayed. You kept believing. And that kind of faith moves heaven. When God sends blessings, they don't just fix the visible problems. They heal what was broken inside. They restore what was stolen in the quiet. They bring peace where confusion lived for too long. And tonight, as the world rests, angels are walking toward you with answers. Not just any answers, but the ones that will make you realize that all the pain had purpose, all the delays had direction, and all the silence was never empty. After decades in government lockdown, a short 9-word phrase has resurfaced, and those who whisper it daily are experiencing miracles of money and freedom. Researchers say it switches on a hidden abundance circuit in the brain, the same one billionaires unknowingly rely on. It's easy, fast, and astonishingly powerful. Click the link before this rare discovery is censored again. God doesn't just meet needs, He overflows hearts. When He steps into a situation, He doesn't do the bare minimum. He breaks chains, opens floodgates, and lights paths you didn't even know were waiting. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You are exactly where God can reach you, lift you, and bless you. This blessing isn't just about money or success. It's about freedom. Freedom from fear. Freedom from stress. Freedom from the weight that has been too heavy for too long. God is shifting the winds, and what once felt stuck is about to move. Doors are opening. Answers are coming. Peace is pouring in. Your hands will not stay empty. Your heart will not stay heavy. Your story is entering a new chapter, one of abundance, joy, and deep, lasting healing. He knows the sleepless nights. He knows the fears you've never spoken aloud. He knows the strength it took to get out of bed when your soul felt weary. And because He knows, He's already working. You don't have to chase this blessing. You just have to stay in faith. Stay in His presence. Stay close to the one who never forgets, never fails, and never forsakes. This is not a coincidence. This is not a random message. This is heaven speaking to your heart, reminding you that you are seen, you are loved, and you are chosen. Tonight, at 11:11, something is going to shift. It may begin in the spirit, it may begin in your heart, but it will move into your life like waves of mercy you didn't expect. Get ready. Open your heart. God is about to show you just how powerful His love can be when it answers a prayer you thought was lost. As the hours pass and the world around you slows, heaven leans closer, and there is a sense of gentle movement in the spiritual realm, a movement shaped by God's kindness, guided by His mercy, and carried by the love of Jesus Christ, who watches over you with tenderness that never fades or weakens. This is a season where many hidden prayers begin to rise again from the quiet corners of your heart, not because you repeated them, but because God stored every one of them in a place where nothing is forgotten, nothing is dismissed, and nothing is ignored by the one who formed you with purpose. Type 222 to receive your blessing. You may not realize how many battles you've survived simply by standing, breathing, and refusing to surrender your hope, even on days when hope felt like a fragile thread rather than a strong pillar, because God saw every moment when you felt tired, yet kept moving forward with faith that grew in the shadows more than it ever did in the light. The love of Christ works in quiet ways, touching the heart with strength that does not shout, but instead flows like gentle rivers through the places where your spirit has been thirsty for reassurance, healing, and renewal. You might feel as though your progress has been slow, but heaven sees something different, because every small step you took in faith was seen as a victory, every moment you resisted fear became a triumph, and every tear you shed became a seed planted in God's hands that is now preparing to bloom. Angels walk beside you not as distant beings, but as steady companions who watch with patience, guide with compassion, and carry prayers upward like precious treasures meant to be delivered directly before God's throne. There is a reason your spirit feels a shift, because God is aligning the very things you thought were out of reach, and He is turning every area of lack into a doorway of abundance designed to bring peace, stability, and joy back into your life with a gentleness that only His love can create. Tonight carries a divine significance, not because of the time itself, but because your heart is finally ready to receive, and your soul has reached a place where it can hold the blessing without fear that it might slip away. The Lord has watched you grow through storms you never expected, and even in your quietest seasons, Jesus walked with you so closely that your pain touched his heart like a silent prayer rising through the night. He never wanted you to feel alone, and he never allowed the darkness to consume you, because his light remained within you even when you felt it flicker, reassuring you with whispers of hope that you may not have fully heard, but your spirit absorbed like healing rain. When God restores, he does not simply give back what was lost, he expands, multiplies, and strengthens everything that belongs to you, until the blessing becomes greater than the pain, the joy becomes deeper than the sorrow, and the peace becomes stronger than the fear. Angels have been arranging the steps ahead of you with such care, preparing the way for breakthroughs that will not slip away this time, because this blessing is not temporary or fragile, but steady, lasting, and divinely timed. You may not see the full picture of what God is doing, but you will soon feel the results, because the shift is already happening in the unseen places where miracles begin, and the spiritual atmosphere around your life is changing in ways that only heaven can orchestrate. Every delay you experienced carried a hidden purpose, and now those delays are being transformed into divine timing that fits your life perfectly, like pieces of a puzzle finally falling into place. Type 555 if you walk by faith. The Lord knows how long you have waited for relief, and he knows how deeply your heart has longed for answers, but he has been shaping your spirit with strength that will allow you to step into the blessing without fear, without hesitation, and without the weight of past disappointments holding you back. God is not just sending financial restoration, he is also sending emotional healing, spiritual renewal, and a sense of peace that will settle into your life like sunlight breaking through heavy clouds. This blessing is wrapped in divine compassion, because God is not only providing for your needs, but he is also caring for your heart, nourishing your faith, and lifting your spirit into a new place of hope where you can breathe more freely, dream more boldly, and rest more deeply in his presence. You will feel a calmness in your spirit that begins to grow, not suddenly, but steadily, like a sunrise that brightens slowly until the entire sky is filled with color. The path ahead of you will become lighter, clearer, and more peaceful than the stretch you just walked through, because God is guiding you into a season where blessings flow more easily, opportunities open more naturally, and joy feels more familiar than pain. You are being lifted, not by your own strength, but by the gentle and unwavering hands of the Lord who cares for you more deeply than you will ever fully understand. This is a moment heaven has been preparing for you, not suddenly, but carefully, day by day, as your heart learned to trust, your soul learned to wait, and your faith began to grow roots that no storm could pull apart. There is a reason you have felt pressed yet not broken, weary yet still standing, because something holy was being formed in you, something stronger than fear, something deeper than doubt, a faith that was never built on circumstances, but on the eternal goodness of God. Type 1919 to receive miracles. The Lord has been walking with you through valleys that others couldn't see, through questions that echoed only inside your spirit, and through nights that felt longer than they should have. And yet, through every step, he has remained near, guiding your heart when your eyes couldn't see the path, holding your spirit when your strength was gone, and whispering peace when the noise of the world tried to drown out the hope within you. Now, the time has come for a lifting, a turning, a release. What once felt like delay will now reveal itself as protection, and what seemed like silence will begin to make sense as divine preparation. Heaven never forgot about you. Heaven never overlooked your name. In fact, while you were waiting, God was gathering everything that was meant for you, not just to answer your prayer, but to give you more than you even knew to ask for. A secret 9-word prayer, once classified under a forgotten program, is now reshaping lives across the globe. People are seeing unexpected deposits, financial breakthroughs, and emotional peace within days of using it. Scientists confirm it rewires the subconscious to attract prosperity naturally. It takes seconds, but the results can last a lifetime. Don't delay, click the link before it disappears. The blessing that's approaching your life is not ordinary. It carries the fingerprints of God, shaped by mercy, wrapped in His promises, and sent with the full knowledge of what your heart has endured. This blessing is coming not to fix a moment but to restore what was broken across seasons, not to patch your wounds but to heal them entirely. God is not rushing. He is working with love, care, and perfect timing. The blessing is not late. It is right on time, arriving at the exact moment your heart is able to receive it, not just with hope, but with peace. You will feel a shift, not only in your surroundings but inside your spirit. You will begin to feel lighter, as if the weight you've been carrying has finally been lifted, and you'll wonder how it happened, but it will be God, quietly, gently, stepping in and doing what only He can do. When God moves, He does so in ways that touch every part of your life. The financial breakthrough you've prayed for is not just about stability or provision, but about freedom, about being released from worry that kept you awake at night, from pressure that squeezed joy out of your days, from fear that followed you like a shadow. God is not only meeting your needs, He is filling the places where fear lived with confidence, where lack lived with abundance, and where dread lived with peace. He is not just replacing what was lost. He is restoring what was stolen, strengthening what was weakened, and reviving what felt forgotten. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. There's a sweetness in how Jesus loves, because He doesn't force, He invites. He doesn't overwhelm, He nurtures. And when He gives in full, not holding back or calculating your worth based on your past, but pouring out blessings because of His grace, because of His love, and because He delights in seeing you walk in joy, in freedom, and in the fullness of what He always had planned for you. The Lord knows how hard it's been to keep smiling while carrying what no one else could see. But now, you are stepping into a season where joy won't be something you have to force. It will begin to rise naturally, like light through clouds, like morning after a long night, like laughter after silence. Your heart will begin to soften again, and your soul will begin to rest, because God is filling every dry place with peace. You will not stay in the waiting. You will not stay in the struggle. You are being moved forward, not by chance, but by design. The Lord has already gone ahead of you, arranging opportunities, sending favor, and preparing hearts to help carry the blessing to you. What you thought was out of reach is already moving closer. What felt impossible is already being made possible. Heaven is closer than it's ever been. And the angels that have watched over you since the beginning are rejoicing, not because of what is coming, but because they know what has always been written over your life. God's plans for you are good. Not vague, not uncertain, good, solid, real, and filled with hope. This is a holy time. A quiet turning point. Not everything will happen at once, but something already has. The spiritual atmosphere around your life is changing. And even before your eyes see it, your heart will begin to sense it. The heaviness will feel lighter. The questions will quiet down. The rushing thoughts will slow. And in their place, there will be peace, not because everything has been explained, but because everything has been placed in the hands of a faithful God. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are in the exact moment God prepared for you. So breathe deeply. Let your soul find rest. You don't need to figure it all out. You don't need to carry the weight alone. Your Father in heaven is already moving. The blessing is already on its way. For so long, it may have felt like your cries disappeared into the silence, like your waiting went unnoticed, and your faith was met with delay after delay, but heaven was never ignoring you. Heaven was working, slowly and gently, shaping the perfect moment, the perfect way, and the perfect blessing that would not just answer your needs but bring healing to the hidden parts of your spirit that long to feel seen. Type yes to affirm. God doesn't rush miracles. He doesn't rush healing. He works in quiet ways that often take time, but never waste it, because every moment you spent growing in the shadows, every hour you spent clinging to faith when the world told you to give up, became part of the foundation He is now building your blessing upon. What's coming is not just relief from your burdens. It is restoration of your peace. It is the calm after years of spiritual storms. It is the gentle unfolding of promises whispered to your heart in prayer, now rising to the surface like morning light after a long and tearful night. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. The hands of Jesus are not only scarred from the cross. They are filled with love that touches everything they hold, and your life has been cradled in those hands through every chapter, even the ones you tried to walk through alone. There is no part of your story too broken for Him to redeem. There is no part of your heart too tired for Him to revive. His love reaches beyond logic, beyond timelines, beyond circumstances, and it stretches out over your life like a shelter, like a covering, like a promise that no matter how hard things get, you will never have to face them without the fullness of His presence. What if 7 minutes could rewrite your financial future forever? This hidden frequency, backed by neuroscience, flips the brain's natural wealth switch, unleashing unstoppable prosperity. People are calling it the money magnet sound, and it's already transforming lives. But hesitation means missing out while others move ahead. This is your moment to act. Click the link in the video description and comments below to awaken the wealth inside you today before the chance slips away. This season that is unfolding around you is not like the ones before. This is a turning, a holy shift, where the prayers that once felt buried are rising again, not with desperation, but with quiet expectation, because your spirit has matured in the waiting, your faith has grown in the struggle, and now your heart is ready to receive, not in fear, but in peace. You are not being overlooked. You are being elevated, not in the eyes of the world, but in the eyes of God who sees every seed of faith you've sown in the darkness. Those seeds are beginning to sprout. Those tears are beginning to water your harvest. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. Sometimes, the greatest blessings come in ways we didn't expect, not with grand announcements, but through soft shifts that slowly change everything. God is moving in the unseen. He is clearing paths, opening doors, softening hearts, and making space for what is coming. The financial breakthrough you've longed for is part of something deeper. It's not just about bills being paid or debts being erased, though God will surely take care of those needs. It's also about peace returning to your home, joy returning to your mind, and freedom returning to your spirit. He's restoring more than you lost. He's giving back more than was taken. He's blessing you with more than you asked for, because His goodness never runs dry. There is a sacred beauty in the way Jesus comforts the weary. He doesn't ask you to be stronger. He doesn't demand that you pretend. He simply comes close, offering His peace like a river and His love like a soft place to rest when the world feels too hard to carry. And in this moment, as your heart leans in and your spirit takes a breath, you are being filled with that peace. You are being reminded that no matter how much you've faced, you are still here, still loved, still chosen, and that is proof of God's grace holding you together when everything around you tried to pull you apart. You may not be able to explain why you feel a stirring in your heart, why something inside you believes again despite all the disappointments. That's the Holy Spirit moving gently within you, making space for hope, softening the fear, and planting joy where sorrow once lived. Let it happen. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself believe that this time, it's real. This time, the blessing is not passing you by. This time, what you receive will not be taken away. What God gives you in this season will have staying power. It will be rooted in His will, watered by His love, and guarded by His promise to never let you walk alone. Your life has been marked by moments of silent strength, the kind of strength no one applauds, the kind that doesn't make headlines or get recognition, but the kind that heaven honors. And now, the reward for that strength is unfolding. The peace you've longed for is coming, not through striving, but through surrender. God is lifting the weight. He is taking the pressure off your shoulders and replacing it with peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. What once kept you up at night will no longer have power over your thoughts. What once drained you will no longer have access to your energy. You are walking into a new place, spiritually and emotionally, where you breathe easier, sleep deeper, and live with a renewed sense of purpose. This is your time to begin again, not from the beginning, but from a better place. You've grown. You've healed. You've survived. And now, you will thrive. Not because of anything the world offers, but because of everything Jesus has already provided. His love is enough. His grace is enough. Tonight is not just another night, it carries the presence of something sacred, something that can only come from heaven, a gentle shift in your life that you may not be able to explain, but you will surely feel. The Lord has been moving things in the background, not to tease you with hope, but to prepare you for blessings that will arrive with perfect timing, not a moment too early and never a second too late. Type 2323 if you agree. For many nights, your thoughts have carried the weight of unspoken prayers, quietly lifting them toward heaven, hoping that maybe, just maybe, they would land in the right place. And while the world around you may not have noticed your silent strength, God did. He saw the nights when you felt alone but chose to believe anyway. He saw the days when you pushed forward even though your heart was tired. And now, He is responding, not only with comfort but with overflow, not just with answers, but with blessings that will touch every corner of your life, restoring what was taken and filling what was empty. This blessing that's coming isn't about material things alone, it's about peace, it's about freedom, it's about being able to breathe without worry, to rest without fear, and to wake up with joy instead of dread. The presence of Jesus in your life has never left, even if at times you felt distant from him. He walked beside you when you stumbled. He stood over you when you fell. He held you up when the world was too heavy to carry. He knows how long you've waited for a change, how many doors you've knocked on, how many times you've whispered, "Lord, just help me make it through this." He heard you. He never ignored you. He was simply building something better than what you were asking for, something lasting, something true, something that will bring more healing than you even realized you needed. The truth is simple: you were created for abundance, yet a dormant brain signal has been holding you back. Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it pulls wealth into your life like never before. Others who pressed play once are already transformed, living the life they dreamed of. Do not hesitate or let regret steal this chance. Click the link in the video description and comments below to unlock your prosperity now. The blessing that's on its way is woven with the fingerprints of God. It will arrive in such a way that you'll know it didn't come from human effort or coincidence. It will come with peace. It will come with clarity. It will come with healing. And when it arrives, it will feel like the moment the rain finally falls after a long drought, not rushed, not loud, but steady, refreshing, and life-giving. It will reach the dry places in your soul, the forgotten corners of your heart, and remind you that God never leaves a promise unfinished, never forgets a prayer spoken in faith, and never allows pain without a plan for redemption. Type 2020 to claim miracles. The angels have been watching over you, not with distance, but with deep affection and divine assignment. They've protected you from things you didn't even know were near. They've carried your name before God's throne when your voice felt too weak to pray. And tonight, as the spiritual atmosphere opens, they are preparing to release something beautiful into your life, not because of your perfection, but because of your persistence in faith. You kept going. You kept believing. You kept trusting, even when nothing made sense. And that kind of faith is never wasted. God's timing is always layered in mercy. He allows seasons of silence so we can learn to listen deeper. He allows seasons of lack so we can understand what true provision looks like when it comes. And when He blesses, it's never to impress the world, but to restore the soul. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to chase it. You only need to remain open, willing to believe that His promises are still alive and His love is still reaching for you. The door you thought was closed for good is creaking open again. The opportunity you once let go of is circling back. The light you thought had faded forever is beginning to shine again. There's a sacred unfolding happening around you, not dramatic, not overwhelming, but slow, sure, and steady. It's like the soft rise of the morning sun after a night that felt too long. God doesn't rush. He restores. He strengthens. He leads gently. And now, He is leading you into a new season, where blessings don't slip away, where love is steady, and where peace takes the place of pressure. This is your time to step into the life He's been preparing for you, not with fear, but with confidence rooted in His faithfulness. The things you've been through did not break you. They built something eternal inside you, something that no one can take away. You've gained wisdom, you've grown in patience, and most of all, you've learned how to hear God in the quiet. That is why this blessing is coming now. You're not just ready for it, you're able to carry it with grace, to protect it with wisdom, and to live it out with gratitude. This isn't just a reward. It's a reflection of what God always planned for you. You're stepping into answered prayers, fulfilled promises, and doors that will remain open because God is the one holding them wide. Let yourself believe. Let yourself receive. The past doesn't define you. The waiting didn't weaken you. You are being lifted by love, surrounded by grace, and guided by the one who knows your name, your heart, and your purpose. Everything is aligning, not by chance, but by the careful, kind, and holy hands of your Father in heaven. There is a reason your heart still longs for peace, a reason your spirit hasn't fully let go of hope, and that reason is Jesus, the one who carries you even when you feel you've lost your footing, the one who whispers comfort when you can no longer explain your pain, and the one who holds your life in hands that will never drop you, no matter how heavy your burdens have become. Type Amen if you believe. The journey you've been walking was never meant to break you, even though it may have stretched you beyond what you thought you could bear. God allowed it, not to punish you, but to strengthen you in ways only He understood. What looked like delay was protection. What felt like rejection was redirection. And what seemed like silence was preparation for something far greater than what you imagined when you first began to pray. There's something holy growing in you now, not through loud victories or public moments, but through the quiet endurance you've held onto when no one was watching, and when even your own thoughts tried to convince you that you were forgotten. But heaven never forgot you. Not for a single moment. The prayers you whispered when you were exhausted, the tears that fell while you waited, the nights you lay awake wondering if God still saw you, all of it mattered. All of it reached Him. And none of it was ever lost. Tonight carries a spiritual weight, not because it marks the end of a struggle, but because it signals the beginning of restoration, the beginning of renewal, the beginning of blessings that were delayed only because the version of you that exists now is ready to hold them. You are no longer begging from a place of fear, you are receiving from a place of faith. The love of Christ is not loud or demanding, but it is unshakable. It doesn't change based on your circumstances. It doesn't lessen when your faith feels small. It remains constant, carrying you through valleys and lifting you when you can't lift yourself. And now, that love is making room for something new in your life, something you can't explain but will recognize as soon as it arrives. Peace will start to fill your heart in places where worry once lived. Clarity will take the place of confusion. And provision will meet your needs in ways that feel almost too precise to be coincidence. This 9-word phrase was once buried under government secrecy, but now it's resurfacing, sparking a global wave of prosperity stories. Experts reveal it reactivates a money magnet section of your brain most people never use. Say it once daily and watch financial blocks vanish. But this page could vanish too. Click the link in the description and comments before it's gone. God's plan for your life is unfolding slowly and steadily, like the seasons change, not with sudden chaos, but with quiet certainty. You don't need to fear what's ahead, because He's already there. He's already working out the details, already preparing the people, already making the way clear before you even take the next step. And this next step won't be taken in weakness. It will be taken in trust. It will be taken with grace. It will be taken with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that they are walking with the Lord of Heaven, and that where He leads, there is always enough. Type 1111 if you trust in God. Sometimes, we wait so long for something to change that we forget what it feels like to hope. But God is restoring that hope now. He is breathing new life into places that felt numb, and He is reminding you that what's meant for you will never pass you by. The blessings coming your way are not just answers to prayer, they are expressions of His character, reflections of His kindness, and proof that He never stopped writing your story, even during the chapters you didn't understand. You are being led out of survival and into stability. Out of fear and into fullness. Out of silence and into songs of joy that your soul will sing again, louder than before. Your life is about to reflect the goodness of God in ways that surprise even you. It won't be loud or boastful, but it will be undeniable. People will notice your peace before they notice your success. They'll see your healing before they see your harvest. Because what God is doing in you is deeper than just surface-level change. He's reaching into your story and rewriting it with mercy. He's erasing shame. He's restoring dignity. He's giving you beauty where there was once brokenness. And you will walk into this next chapter not carrying the weight of your past, but walking in the promise of your future. You've been faithful, even when you felt forgotten. You've kept showing up, kept trusting, kept believing, even when the evidence seemed scarce. And now, the season is turning. The winds are shifting. The rain you've been waiting for is coming, not just to refresh you, but to grow everything God planted in you during the dry times. Every lesson, every scar, every trial was not wasted. God is bringing fruit from it. He's bringing fullness from the emptiness. And He's turning the very place that once held your pain into the ground where your joy will take root and grow. There's something powerful about quiet faith, the kind that doesn't always get attention, but always gets God's favor. You've carried that kind of faith. And now, you will carry the blessing that comes with it. Your days ahead will be lighter. Your nights will be more restful. Your mind will feel clearer. And your heart will begin to feel safe again, no longer bracing for disappointment, but opening gently to the goodness that's already on its way. Let it come. Let it unfold. Let God finish what He started. This isn't just another hopeful message. It's a spiritual confirmation that you are right where you need to be for heaven to move. Don't let fear rob you of what God has already promised. Don't let past disappointments make you suspicious of new beginnings. What's coming will feel different because it is different, it's real, it's right, and it's wrapped in the peace of Christ, not the pressure of the world. Type 222 if you believe your breakthrough is near. The heartache, the confusion, the quiet moments when you sat alone wondering if you were forgotten, those were not wasted nights. They were holy ground. They were where God met you in your most vulnerable state and began doing His most powerful work within you, forming strength where weakness once lived, planting peace where anxiety had taken root, and restoring your belief in what's possible when He is the one leading the way. The path you've walked may have been steep, but it shaped a kind of faith in you that can no longer be shaken, and now, that same path is about to bring you into a season where everything you carried will make sense, not because the pain disappears, but because the purpose begins to shine through it. There is a sacred rhythm to the way Jesus moves. He does not rush the process because he loves you too deeply to let you receive anything half-formed. What he brings into your life, he builds to last, not just to ease your momentary need, but to bless your future, secure your heart, and cover your days with peace that holds even when the winds try to blow again. And now, that moment is approaching. The air around you is shifting. You can feel it, a soft stirring inside, a quiet lifting of your spirit, as if something within you knows that the wait is almost over and the blessing is already in motion. Heaven has not been still. The angels have been walking ahead of you, clearing the debris of doubt, making space for what is about to come into your life, not as a reward, but as a continuation of the promise that was spoken over you long before the struggle began. This is not the end of your story. This is the part where everything starts to come together. What looked like a broken puzzle is about to take shape. What felt like a closed door is about to swing open. What you thought you had to live without is coming back to you in a form that brings healing, not harm.